It's a win and we're in situation. St James's Park just needs to be absolutely bouncing next week. How's your nerves, Newcastle fans? After a 1-0 defeat at the Emirates to Arsenal, the equation for Newcastle to finish in the top 5 and therefore secure a Champions League place is very, very simple. Beat Everton on the final day at home. Anything less than that, and Newcastle run the risk of falling into the Europa League spots in the league. The game against Arsenal itself was actually quite a low-key affair for a game between these two clubs. They've generally been quite feisty occasions over the last few seasons, but it wasn't really like that this game. It was a game of two halves, bit of a cliche, but it really was. Newcastle were the better team in the first half. Arsenal were probably the better team in the second half. Newcastle's chances came in the first half, really, and really should have scored at least one before half-time. And then if that happens, then obviously it's a very different game and you protect what you've got and perhaps you see it out. We didn't do that, so we've only got ourselves to blame. But actually, I feel like we did actually play quite well in the first half, so I don't have too many complaints there. Obviously, after half-time, Arsenal switched things up a little bit. They were better. We were happy to let them have possession, I feel. I don't think that was a big issue in a sense, because we were defending quite well. But then Anthony Gordon made a mistake, and that led to Rice's goal. And really, that was Arsenal's one really clear chance. I mean, to be fair, it was a good finish by Rice. It wasn't an easy chance. We did limit them to quite few chances. Like, they didn't have loads and loads of chances. The thing that I was thinking during the game was, like, a draw, even if we got it back to 1-1, a draw wouldn't have made that much difference in the picture for the end of the season at this point. So we really had to win today, or if we didn't win, it didn't matter whether we drew or lost. It just, because it means that the equation is the same, pretty much the same. The only thing that might come into play is goal difference with Chelsea, but it's just very simple. We've known for about 3 games now we just need to win. We need to get to 69 points. If we do that, we're going to be in the Champions League next season. So we'll see what happens. Going back to those chances at the start of the game, their keeper Ray made some really good saves. Dan Burn probably had the best of our chances. Harvey Barnes had a chance or two, and if we'd just taken one of them, maybe we would have been in a position to get the win today. But I can't really have any complaints as to the final result. I feel like we were probably worthy of scoring 1 goal today, but we didn't. So perhaps we could have got a draw, but like I say, it doesn't really matter that we didn't draw, I don't think. I think it's very simple what we have to do on Sunday next week. We have to go out, we have to beat Everton at home, and that is as simple as that. I feel like the end of the season is coming at a really good time for Newcastle. This very small squad is starting to creak and crack, and I feel like we just need to get to that finish line, and fingers crossed we get there with the win next week. It's just quite simple. The squad is small. Isak didn't play at all today. He's picked up a knock or whatever. Whether he plays against Everton, we don't know yet. Hopefully he'll be back, and maybe that was part of the decision to leave him out of the squad today. We will find out. But we don't have Joe Linton as well. He's a big miss in our midfield, and we're playing Harvey Barnes and Gordon. I think Gordon is not playing his best football at the moment. He made the mistake for their goal, I think, today, that led to their goal, and he kind of looked a little bit off the pace as well. So whether he's got a knock or he's just not quite in the flow of it, I don't know what's going on there. But next week we just need to have one massive push against Everton. So it's a win and we're in situation. St James's Park just needs to be absolutely bouncing next Sunday. And whatever team we are able to put on that field, we just have to hope that they raise their game, treat it like one of these big occasions, which it is going to be, and just gain the 3 points. That's just the only aim. It's very, very simple. There's 1 game left. We have to win it. That's it. So if it goes wrong next weekend and we don't win that game, I feel like there will be an overreaction, I feel, if we don't win and we miss out on the Champions League spot. But I think if we look at it kind of a bit more philosophically, okay, if we miss out on the Champions League, we're all going to be disappointed at this point, because really it is in our hands, and it has been in our hands for quite a few weeks. But if we end up in the Europa League for whatever reason, that's not horrendous. It's not a total disaster anyway. It's. I think we need to remember that. It gives us the opportunity next season to really have a go at a trophy that we could possibly win. So I think we've got to have that in mind. But let's be honest, we all want the prestige and the money from the Champions League. As a football club, we know that that's way more important to us right now than possibly winning the Europa League next season, as daft as that sounds, because if we're looking at the bigger picture, Newcastle need revenue so that we can spend more money on improving the squad. We're still in that phase of things. So, hopefully we get that Champions League place, hopefully we get the money, we get that prestige to help sign, the highest calibre of player, and everything goes fine. But I just think if it doesn't happen for whatever reason, we can't complain about the season we've had. We'll still be in Europe, we'll still have won a trophy. It's been a successful season regardless of what happens next weekend, even though we'll all feel disappointed if we don't beat Everton. We would have loved to have had it all sewn up before the final game of the season. I would certainly have liked to, because it's going to be a nervous occasion next Sunday. Hopefully the crowd can help carry the team and sort of disperse any nervous energy that the team might have. Everton are not an easy opponent. David Moyes has come in and he has turned them around. Their form is much better than... Well, actually, to be fair, they are a mid-table team now. Their form is of a top 10 team, so we have to treat them with respect. We kind of need to hope that they have a bit of a down week and that they're on the holidays now that they've said goodbye to Goodison Park. That might be something that plays in our favour, and perhaps this weekend was their big kind of emotional send-off, and next week their players might not be quite as at it. That might help us, but it is the Premier League. We've seen it before on the last day of the season. Teams step up, teams play, regardless of whether they've got anything to play for or not, and we just have to hope that we've got enough to beat Everton, which we should do if we play to our best, but it won't be easy, and we have to get the job done. So yeah, disappointing today, but I kind of felt like we might lose this game. I wasn't really expecting us to go there and win, although I did feel like we could go there and win. But we have one game left. It's a home game. Our home form has been excellent in recent times. Yeah, we've got an opponent who we should be able to beat at home, but we've just got to go and get the job done. The old saying in sports, isn't there, to bend but don't break? And I feel like we are as bent as we can get. That's a really bad line to say. Oh, God.